the 2K Sports pregame show.
Good evening, sports fans. This is 2K Sports. Ernie Johnson, Shaquille O'Neal, Kenny Smith. Moments away at Bankers Life Fieldhouse, it'll be the Indiana Pacers going up against the Detroit Pistons. Well, for Detroit, this is a team they played pretty well against last season, going 3-1. They'll look to keep that edge tonight. And tonight, we get to see one of the faces of the NBA, Blake Griffin. He's battled a number of injuries, but Kenny, he's still one of the league's better power forwards.
He gives you a lot of things, Ernie, and I really believe if he didn't get injured early on, he would have been higher in the MVP voting last year. Terrific passer, tries to improve his range every season, now shooting threes.
Kenny, what are you talking about? Everybody gets injured. Let's just talk about how he adds a physical presence. You know, it's too bad him and Chris Paul could never reach the finals together.
Well, I'm not going to argue with that.
Me either.
You don't want to argue.
That does it for us. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you later.
Knock you out.
Mama said.
On the floor for the visiting Detroit Pistons. At small forward, Glenn Robinson III. At shooting guard, Luke Kennard. At the other guard position, Reggie Jackson. At the other forward position, Blake Griffin. At center, Andre Drummond. The head coach of the visiting team is Dwayne Casey. And now, your Indiana Pacers starting lineup. Starting at small forward, standing 6'8", number 44, Bojan Bogdanović. Starting at point, 6'0", number 2, Darren Allison. The other forward position, standing 6'11", number 11, Domantas Sabonis. Starting at the other guard, at 6'6", number 12, Tyreke Evans. A 6'11" center from Texas, number 33, Miles Turner. Make some noise for your Pacers!
It's the Eastern Conference on display featuring the Detroit Pistons. Happy holidays, everyone, from all of us at 2K Sports. And do we have a present for you today? This is Kevin Harlan with Greg Anthony and Clark Kellogg and our sideline reporter, David Aldridge. And many happy returns to Thaddeus Young, now healthy and hale and hearty and in the lineup and ready to roll.
Well, they had lost a lot off their fastball when he was on the sideline with that injury, guys. Things really started to unravel for them shortly after he got hurt, and they just couldn't piece it back together.
And the Pacers start off with the ball. And now the opening lineup for Detroit. The big men are Griffin and Drummond. Jackson is out there with Kennard, and it's Robinson in at the 3 spot.
You know, it's so rare to see a player who really struggles at the free throw line dramatically improve their free throw percentage. But that's exactly what Andre Drummond did last season, taking it from the 30s, how about up into the 60s.
Now, here's Bogdanović. That shot off the mark. Good D by Drummond. Robinson against Bogdanović. Pass to Jackson. He's looking for Griffin and finds him.
Hey, you know, Kevin, that's what you want to see. Strong passing inside leading to the hoop.
And 60% of the free throw line, below average for an NBA player. But for Drummond, it changes everything.
I mean, opposing teams much less likely to use that hack-a-shack method. That keeps him on the floor and, more importantly, allows him to be aggressive offensively and just attack the rim.
A nice shot by Collison.
DC accurate from long range when he gets a clean look. He's lights out.
Let's send it over to Hall of Famer David Aldridge, who caught up with head coach Nate McMillan. David.
Thanks, Kevin. He said, look, all they talked about before this game was defense. Going up against one of the best offensive teams in the league, he said, it's a challenge that we embrace. Nobody can do it by themselves. It's got to be a collective effort. No hero ball on offense either. Guys, we'll see if they can put the brakes on them. It's never easy. Back to you.
Thanks as always, David. Well, they know what their toughest job is going to be today.
Yeah, Kevin, it's always hard to go up against a team that can light it up like this. You can't let them hit the ground running.
Exactly. I mean, they've got to be the ones dictating the tempo and the pace. Keep the high-octane offense on the other side in check. Good job putting the pass in front of him, throwing it where he's supposed to be, not where he is, paving the way right to the bucket.
Here's Sabonis, and slam dunk by Sabonis.
Nice look there from Bogdanovic, the shooter keeping an eye peeled and open for the open man.
There's Jackson with the three. Doesn't go that time. And Indiana will go the other way with it. This game against Detroit here, it's their first meeting of the season.
And even though they were the better team overall, they actually lost the season series against this club a year ago.
Yeah, and for them, that was a bit embarrassing. So expect them to come back with a point to prove tonight.
And the Pistons with possession here. The Pacers making the shot. Here's Griffin. Count the bucket. And he's got a free throw coming up as well.
And just the sheer power of Griffin, one of the best finishers in the league after contact. And Blake Griffin said early in his career he used to rely on his athleticism to get by. He said the problem was every season he'd be worn out by February. So diversifying his offensive game has helped him to kind of withstand the rigors of a long NBA season.
And, Greg, you look at a lot of the volume dunkers over the years. Their bodies often wear down. You think of Amari Stoudemire, Antonio McDyess, even Dwight Howard.
Yeah, and I think Griffin could see the writing on the wall. He used to get over 200 dunks in a season. Now, less than half that number. But the trade-off, hopefully, will be longevity and an increased skill set.
And it's Evans missing. And here's Griffin. He'll bring it up for the Pistons. Trailing by 2. Shoots. Oh, and that one had the right spin on it, and it is good. Robinson's got his first 2 points. And first quarter, we're about 3.5 minutes in. Collison, the pass to Bogdanovic. Whistle blows, basket is good. So a chance here for a three-point play.
Tough finish from Bogdanovic. He's got a nice big frame for a wingman.
And Bogdanovic, a player who has bounced around the last few seasons.
Yeah, you know what? He's a guy that spaces the floor nicely, Kevin, and he's got a toughness to him that I think was undervalued and underappreciated across the league. He can make shots off the catch and shoot or coming off screens. And he also showed himself to be a better defender than people thought he was.
Free throw good, Bogdanovic.
And, you know, Bogdanovic played for 10 years in Europe before coming to the NBA. Just now coming into his prime, but he's got a lot of pro experience.
Now here's Drummond. He's a good contributor to his team, averaging about 10.5 points a game.
And I think all the credit goes to the defense there, Kevin. Exceptional job getting the shooter to rush that layup.
Collison against Jackson. Collison kicks to Turner. Now Evans. He's coming off a 19-point game against the Hawks in Atlanta. Clock at 4. And there's the call on Andre Drummond. That is his first foul of the game. Collison with it. Guarded now by Jackson. Collison, the pass to Sabonis. 6 on the shot clock. Out of bounds. Detroit takes possession.
All right, a moment here to check out stats for Griffin. He's been dominant over the last month. 3rd in scoring, and he's in the top 20 in steals, bringing that focus and intensity at both ends.
And the only way you average top 3 in points if you have that scorer's mentality. He knows he's the go-to guy, and everyone else knows it as well. Here's Kennard. No points in the game yet for him. Drummond finds Jackson, and the dunk by Jackson.
The quickness of Reggie Jackson, terrific. Superb at slicing apart the defense with his drives to the rack.
Indiana leading. Collison, the pass to Bogdanovich. Shots good by Turner.
That's exactly how you set the table. Great dime there.
Detroit's gone 0 of 2 from deep here. The pass to Kennard. Nice ball movement by Detroit. Fires for 3. That shot by Griffin, no good. Indiana leading by 3. And the wide open shot from Evans. Offline with his 3. Out to the right wing. Lobbed up there for Drummond. Stolen away. Nice job to interrupt the alley-oop attempt there. And it's Bogdanovich in the corner. Good on the triple. Bogdanovich has got 6.
They've wasted no time settling into their offense.
Yeah, they're lasered in. I mean, really making the most of their possessions.
Now, here is Robinson. A look at his stats. He averages a bit over 8 points a game. Collison against Jackson. Just 5 on the clock. The Pistons need to get off a shot here. Drummond. That's good. And it's Jackson with the assist that time.
Yeah, 3 consecutive field goals have come right at the rim. The D had better start buckling down.
From deep, Evans. Griffin grabs the board.
Nothing dropping for him, so I think in the best interest of his team, he may need to think about not shooting right now.
In the corner, it's Robinson. He feeds it to Drummond. It drops for his 3rd basket. He's missed only 1 shot. The Pacers have gone 7 of 12 from the field here in the first quarter. Collison kicks to Bogdanovich. And there's the call on Andre Drummond. That'll be his 2nd foul of the game.
Got to be more careful. Can't pick up 2 fouls this early on. You just can't.
So an entirely new group in now for Indiana. Kyle O'Quinn, he's checked in for Turner. Young comes in for Sabonis. McDermott's checked in for Bogdanovich. And Corey Joseph subbed in for Darren Collison. And then for Detroit, Reggie Bullock, he's checked in for Glenn Robinson III. And it's Ish Smith in for Reggie Jackson. Now, here is Young. Taking a look at his numbers, he averages about 7 points a game. Bullock kicks to Griffin. Basket is good. He'll get a chance for one more at the line. Clark, if you need to win a Game 7, and you can't have KD or LeBron, but you can have any other one player in the league, who would you pick?
Wow, if you can't have either one of those guys.
How you like that question?
There's a great list. Harden, Curry, Kyrie Irving, Kawhi Leonard when healthy. And I think you'd have to throw Russell Westbrook in there, too, for a one-game situation where he could just go with the abandon he goes with. But I think I'm going to hang my hat with Kyrie Irving since he was part of bringing a championship to the Cavs a couple of years ago, my hometown.
Now here's Evans. Nothing yet on the scoreboard for him. Shot clock at 5, and the shot goes in. And the Pacers lead by 1.
And after missing 4 straight, he finally gets 1 to go.
Smith kicks to Griffin. Pass to Kennard. And it's Smith, top of the key. In the corner, it's Griffin. And that one clearly a foul. Gets the whistle, and 2 shots coming up. And for Detroit, a lot of changes, Greg, in their front office this past offseason.
A new GM and Dwayne Casey brought in to coach. Could see a drastic shift in style and approach for the Pistons moving forward.
That free throw, no good.
You know, going into the last season, many thought the Pacers were in rebuild mode, but ended up 5th in the East with a fantastic season and strong finish. Saying they overachieved doesn't even begin to describe their season. I think they surprised everybody.
That's off as well, so he misses both. And many people thought the Pacers last season would be near the bottom of the East. Clark, that was not the case at all.
Not at all, Kevin. 7 games it took the Cavs to eliminate the Pacers in the first round, and you never know, or I don't think you can ever dismiss or discount what that kind of playoff series can mean to a young team like the Pacers. Things are looking up in a great way for the Pacers going forward.
Now here's McDermott. 17 points for him last game against Atlanta. And the whistle blows. It's going to be on Ish Smith. That's his first foul. John Lure, he's checked in for Blake Griffin. Detroit on D. They trail by 1. McDermott finds O'Quinn. 6 on the shot clock. And it's Evans missing.
Nothing seems to be going down for him today.
Passes it to Smith. A rebound by Young.
And that's solid defense, rock solid, contesting without fouling. Well done.
Evans feeling it out a bit. Pass to McDermott. Baseline try. No good. Shot missing. The Pistons have gone 8 of 15 from the field, shooting above 50% here tonight. Here's Kennard, covered by Evans. Here's Bullock. It's rebounded by Indiana.
And pulled out all the stops to fight his way inside, but the D just was not giving in.
Here's Kennard, covered by Evans. Trying to end the drought. That shot is off.
Well, I think the defense got really lucky there. I mean, you can't afford to give up wide open shots from deep.
And Joseph kicks to Evans. Now here's McDermott. G right on him.
Taking a look at some stats for Smith. His last 10 games, he's right around 9 points a night, 4 assists, and 2 rebounds. And playing with the reserves, he might not get the minutes he'd like, but you sense that hunger to improve.
Well, you know, he stated that he wants to improve, but until that actually happens, he'll continue to come off the bench.
The first free throw is good. In NBA history, only a handful of rookies have averaged 20 points and 10 rebounds. And Clark, you were one of them.
Yeah, it's a point of pride for me. Obviously wasn't able to be part of a playoff team in the short time I played, but did distinguish myself individually for the short time I played. And that's fairly select company when you talk 2010 guys as rookies. And that's a pretty impressive list to be on. Actually, one of my peers, Terry Cummings, is also part of that first-year 2010 group.
You talk about names: Wilt Chamberlain, Lou Alcindor, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Hakeem, Tim Duncan, Bird, Shaq. I mean, what great names.
Yeah, some phenomenal names, no doubt about it. Glad to be on that roll call list.
And the Pacers with possession here, following the 3 by Detroit. Here's Evans. Yes, that goes in. Evans has got his second basket of the game.
And how about the efficiency Evans has shown in the paint? Once he's got his position, he's looking to score.
Pachulia, no luck.
Yeah, good interior D there prevents the deuce.
You know, that's not easy at all. When guys get this close to the bucket, it's tough to stop the basket.
Evans, good.
Boy, I like seeing that toughness on the offensive glass. Did a nice job judging, anticipating where the miss was going, and then putting it back in. Nicely done.
Now, here is Smith. He's coming off a 10-point game against Washington. And Lure kicks to Smith. The shot comes out, and it's the Pacers taking it the other way. They're coming into this game off that recent loss to Atlanta.
And I think they could hold their heads high from that performance, you know, despite the final score being what it was.
I agree with you. I mean, it was a tough game played in a tough environment on the road, and they were in it right until the bitter end, so that's good stuff.
It's 9 seconds separating the shot clock and game clock. Got that one up quick. Smith's got his first basket of the night.
Well, I like the fact that Smith is a very solid shooter from mid-range. His teammates are confident with him from that spot.
And here's Evans. He's got 6. He kicks it to Joseph. From deep. Whoops, there's the 24-second shot clock violation, so they'll turn it over. And still a close game as the first quarter comes to a close. It's the Pacers. They're up by 1. It's the NBA on 2K Sports from Indianapolis. One of the most dominant big men in the league, Andre Drummond, says he's learned how to be a leader on this team.
Watching previous guys who've led this team and did the things that they did, I write that kind of stuff in the back of my head and just say, you know, this is something I need to do this. Or if I see something I didn't like, you know, this is something I probably will stay away from. And I think now that I'm in a role where I could kind of lead this team, I kind of have the blueprint on what I need to do to make this team successful.
And, you know, Greg, with Blake Griffin, he's got somebody to take some of that leadership role alongside him.
And those two will be pivotal in deciding just how good this team can be.
And if you're just tuning in, it's been a pretty even game through the first quarter. And before we move on, what do you guys think about what we've seen so far from the Pacers?
Aggressive rebounding in that first quarter, that's what's given them the advantage.
Boy, the ferocity on the glass, really impressive, and they're not backing up at all, not giving an inch on the boards.
Here are the 5 Detroit has to start the second quarter. Smith and Kennard are in the backcourt. John Lure's out there with Pachulia, and it's Bullock in at the small forward. Bogdanovich is checked in for the Pacers. And a switcher also for Detroit. Robinson's checked in. On the sideline, let's catch up with Hall of Famer David Aldridge.
The Pistons went for it last season, bringing in Blake Griffin and trading away picks and players. Didn't work out the way they wanted, but they are determined to make a go of it. They're in a brand new building, and they hope that their moves in the future will draw fans back to the franchise. Kevin?
Good overview, David. Thank you. Here's Joseph after the basket by Detroit. Bogdanovich looking around. To the middle. Stolen by Lure. Smith outside. And the foul called on Bojan Bogdanovich. That is his first foul of the game. Darren Collison. He's checked in for Thaddeus Young.
Darren Collison.
Second quarter, and we're just over a minute in. Pachulia, good. Now it's a 3-point Piston lead. Pacers shooting in this game, 45%. Joseph against Robinson. Now, here's O'Quinn, guarded close. Down to 5 on the shot clock. Indiana needs to get a shot off. The 3 from Joseph. And there's the shot clock violation. Couldn't get the shot off in time. The Pacers making a switch here. Turner's checked in. And then for Detroit, Andre Drummond comes in for Jaja Pachulia. And Reggie Jackson subbed in for Ish Smith. And Corey Joseph quietly changing his game, Clark, the past few seasons to better his efficiency.
I agree with you there. I mean, he's done a nice job of recognizing the value of becoming better as a spot-up shooter. And as a result of the work he's put in, he's become pretty lethal on catch-and-shoot situations.
A three-pointer, no good. Pistons leading by 5. Bullock with it. 7 points in the game. And the foul on Miles Turner. That is his first foul of the game. Outside for Jackson. 6 to shoot. Drummond trying to get himself free, and Jackson gets it to go. And the Pistons lead by 7.
Well, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. They keep getting it in the paint and continue to score consistently.
Here's Bogdanovich, and the Pacers can't get it to go.
Man, right play, wrong result on that one. Generally, you knock those down.
Not much else you can do there. I mean, that's what you want. Too bad they weren't able to finish it off.
Now, here is Robinson. And Andre Drummond, the bucket on the assist from Robinson. And now a 9-point Piston lead. So the Pacers call timeout, their first of the game. The Pistons making a change here. Griffin's checked in. With a break in the action, let's now bring up the 2K leaderboard and look at the league's top scorers over the past 10 games. 4th, Blake Griffin.
Quite a role he's been on. I mean, a pure scoring display. Eventually, teams might find an answer for him, but that's not been the case here lately.
Now about 3 minutes gone in this second quarter of basketball. To the inside, Turner, and it's sent back by Drummond.
Drummond mixes defensive smarts with elite physical tools, and that's what makes him a solid defender. He's going to get his hands on a few shots each and every game.
And good passing, setting up a lot of these buckets right now, Kevin. That's been the key.
Dime-dropping delights is what I call it.
That is a nice pass. I will give you that one.
Yeah, he was on the money, that's no doubt. Now here's Turner. He had a 15-point outing in their last game against the Hawks in Atlanta.
And he also made his presence felt on the defensive side as well. 3 block shots were registered in that game.
And for the most part, when Bogdanovich is out on the floor, he's there to do one thing, shoot.
And I tell you what, when you can shoot like that, that's all you need to do. Great catch-and-shoot player who can stretch the defense. You cannot leave him alone. And really, his presence frees up so much for his teammates on the floor.
Now, gentlemen, 2 shots. Loose shots.
Free throw good, Bogdanovich. Well, Clark, a few teams at this point in the season have battled through back-to-back games. Just how hard is that on the body to play in consecutive nights in this league?
As I recall, Kevin, it wasn't terribly difficult. As a matter of fact, I kind of enjoyed it. You could either get the bad taste of a loss out of your mouth quickly by playing another game. You didn't have to really practice. There's some energy concerns, obviously, but when you're well-rested and excited about playing, you find the energy. But I do believe there's studies that show there's a greater probability for injury the more back-to-back games that you have. That's one of the reasons the league has sought to minimize the number of back-to-back games across the schedule.
And an important part of every team's game, a look at the hustle stats for the Pistons.
And it's been about their defense. They're playing with a frenetic pace, putting a lot of pressure on the ball handlers and forcing turnovers.
They've gotten their fair share of points off turnovers so far tonight, too.
And the Pistons with possession here. The Pacers making the shot. Drummond up top. Turner covering. Here's Griffin. Draws contact on the shot, and now a three-point play chance as he'll head to the line.
That's good. Great ball movement there.
Pistons have gone 2 of 4 at the free throw line. Sabonis, he's checked in for the Pacers. Free throw drops for Griffin.
And Blake Griffin is just an incredible athlete, explosive and great balance and mobility, powerful. A big guy who can flat out throw it down, and he also can pass it too.
Now here's Sabonis. And good that time.
And they've repeatedly probed inside in the first half, guys, and it's paid off.
And the pass to Bullock. And Drummond kicks to Jackson. Pass to Bullock. Passes it to Drummond. Just 2 to shoot. That 3 off target. Had some space there after the little pump fake. Bogdanovich against Robinson. It's good, and the Piston lead is cut to just 9 on the basket from Bogdanovich.
On the perimeter and on the inside, too, Bogdanovich able to put points on the board.
Robinson dishes to Griffin. Kicks it to Drummond. Shot's good. Griffin making the play. 10 points for Drummond.
Well, I tell you what, I like the clip he's shooting at. Extremely effective. If you're on defense now, you got to get the ball out of his hands.
Jackson against Collison. It's Drummond with the rebound. Drummond's got his 6th rebound on the night. Here's Bullock, and it's sent back by Turner.
Oh, these arms of Turner just go on forever. I mean, which is part of the reason he's able to rack up the block shots that he does.
Here's Leaf. He's gotten some minutes, but nothing on the board yet. Got it. Good job in the low post.
The second he got around the pick and shook his man, it was straight to the bucket for the easy deuce. Very, very well done.
Pistons leading by 9. Jackson kicks to Drummond. Outside Griffin. Jackson down low. He's against Collison. And there it is for him. Jackson's got 9.
And now he's taken a solid opening in the quarter and built on it here in the second.
Time called here. Indiana decides to talk it over.
You know, and Reggie Jackson, a really solid first season and a half in Detroit, but the last 2 seasons, injuries have really held him back.
McDermott's checked in for Leaf.
All right, a moment to check out the stats for Andre Drummond. The last 10 games, he has been on a heck of a run. 1st in rebounding, 2nd in field goal percentage, and he's also ranked in the top 10 in blocks per game. No trespassing when he's in the lane.
And just going back real quick to the fact that he's tops in the league in rebounds, what a tremendous feat. What a monster he is in the paint. Now here's Collison. 5 points in the game. Inside. Sabonis against Jackson. Out of bounds. Detroit takes possession. And now a chance to see what's coming up for Indiana. On Monday, it'll be the Atlanta Hawks coming into town. And then on Friday, they'll begin a road trip starting in Chicago against the Bulls.
Yeah, and Kevin, this is going to be a very trying part of the schedule for them. More than a fair share of road games on the dock for the team, and have not had an easy time finding success away from home.
Now here's Griffin. He's coming off a 37-point game against Washington.
And equally spent as much energy on his D. I mean, 4 steals kind of tell the story.
Now here's Jackson, following the miss by Griffin. Over Collison. No good on the shot, and Indiana will come the other way. Atlanta will be traveling to face them after this game, and that game is the second of 2 straight at home. Back to McDermott. The dunk and the foul, a powerhouse move, and he's got a chance for one more at the line. It's going to be on Blake Griffin.
And if that doesn't get them fired up, guys, nothing will.
Greg, just what the doctor ordered, huh? Some high-flying antics to narrow the deficit.
Tell you what, fellas, that could give them the energy boost they've been looking for.
Young's checked in for the Pacers. Evans comes in for Bogdanovich. And then for Detroit, Luke Kennard comes in for Glenn Robinson III. And Smith subbed in for Reggie Bullock. And McDermott, no good on that one.
He's still trying to find his footing, but Doug McDermott is a great shooter, no question about that, but he needs to keep adding more to his game.
He has gotten into a great rhythm here in this quarter, playing with just bundles of confidence.
And here's Collison after Reggie Jackson was able to get the triple, and the Pacers can't get it to go.
Man, low percentage look on that one. Not sure what he was thinking.
I agree with you. Not a good shot, not good offense. They can get a much better look than that, but they're going to need to be patient to do so.
Here's Evans, following the score by Reggie Jackson. Evans passes to Collison. Pass to McDermott. Lets a floater go. He lays it in. McDermott's got 4 this quarter.
And it's coming easy for them right now. 5 baskets in a row in the paint.
And I say, hey, if it keeps working, go to it. Stay with it. I mean, until the defense responds and provides more resistance, keep making them pay.
On the wing, Jackson. Got it. Good job in the low post. Jackson's got 16.
As hot as he's been this quarter, the game plan is simple, folks. Get him the ball and get out of the way.
Sabonis kicks to Collison. Releases. Buries the 20-footer. 7 points in the game.
Really skilled as an offensive player. Collison, excellent at recognizing when to shoot from there.
Left side, Griffin. And Tyreek Evans is going to pick up a foul. That is his first foul of the game. And Nate McMillan, a coach with multiple stops in his career, had good success last season with the Pacers.
And, you know, to some that was a surprise, but McMillan does a lot of things well as a coach. He communicates well, he demands accountability, and his teams typically play a smart brand of basketball. And actually, it's a reflection of how Nate was as a player.
For Detroit, they have made 3 of 5 free throw attempts.
Yeah, and over the course of the season, they're a respectable 78%. That comes in handy in close games.
And they've made progress in that department from last season going into this one, guys. I mean, the numbers have improved.
And the first one drops. Both shots good from the stripe.
And they have yet to miss a shot from the line here this quarter.
Yeah, you have to make teams pay for fouling you. That's why they call them free. And they've done exactly that, made them pay.
Timeout called the Pacers.
And Kevin, they've been committing a lot of turnovers here. Taking care of the basketball is the #1 priority right now in that huddle. They've got to tighten it up.
We see a chart here for the shooting performance so far for Jackson.
And everything he's touched has turned to gold. If you are on defense, you have to make sure all 5 players know exactly where he is at all times, because if he gets a sliver of a look, he'll get it done.
And here are the Pacers now. It's a 14-point game. And that one hits back iron.
Cannot give him that much room from mid-range. They got to feel lucky he didn't knock that one down.
Down low. Pachulia finds Jackson. Lock at 6. Back to Pachulia. And the refs are going to rule that unnecessary contact. It's a flagrant 1 foul.
Boy, a very hard foul that time, and the officials had to slap him with the flagrant. I mean, you can't let him get away with that kind of contact.
Yeah, gee, that's an easy call for the officials to make when there's that much contact. The league is really cracking down on those sort of plays. No good on the free throw. And he sinks the second. And Indiana making a change here. Joseph's checked in. Jackson kicks to Smith. Lure up top, uncovered. And yep, finally drops after rolling around the rim. Lure's got his first points of the night.
A much better quarter for them shooting the ball.
Anytime your field goal percentage is in the high 50s, partner, you're doing something right.
Now, here is Young. He's been quiet so far, still no points in the game. Shakes off the strong D and gets the bucket for two.
You know, he might look a little thin, even wiry out there, but Young is strong. And he has no issues finishing after a bump or a hack.
Jackson kicks to Lure. And the call will be against Thaddeus Young. That's his third foul so far. Bonus situation in effect, so we'll head to the free throw line for two. Free throw good, Lure. That one falls, so he hits both of them. And the Pacers with possession here, trailing by 17. Evans dishes to O'Quinn. 1:05 left to play in the first half. Can't hit from in close. Jackson has the open look. No good on the triple. Indiana's gone 0-2 from deep here in the second. Inside, Young. And Young slams it home.
Yeah, I'd like to see more passes like that from McDermott, especially when guys are open.
And Detroit has possession. They get to take on the Magic at Orlando after this one. That'll be game 2 of 4 straight on the road. A reverse, and Lure with the lay-in good. Lure's got 6 in the quarter.
And since the first quarter, we've seen them ease off on that long-range affair. And frankly, that's probably a good idea.
I know there's some teams out there that would prefer to just shoot their way out of a slump, but, you know, getting a few to drop from in close or inside the arc is often a good way to get your whole offense going.
Shot clock at 5. McDermott kicks to Joseph. Over Smith. Reggie Jackson with the rebound.
You know, Kevin, this team is struggling a bit right now. I mean, I hope he can find his rhythm and start making his shots out there soon. Otherwise, ...
And some guys just have a nose for scoring, and this one couldn't have been any easier.
Yeah, that was actually no defense at all there, Greg. I mean, layups don't come any easier than that. I mean, they're piling it on now.
And so is Detroit, feeling good about their 17-point lead heading into the break. They've had active hands and have forced a lot of turnovers in this one. And a chance now to send it over to David Aldridge, standing by courtside. David.
Thank you, Kevin. Andre, big first half, a lot of energy. What are you guys doing differently tonight?
With active hands on the defensive end, it really got us all hyped up. And, you know, it translates to the offensive end as well, too. So, you know, we're looking real good right now. We just got to put it together in the second half, too.
Transition really working well for you in the first half, Andre. Thanks. Back to you, Kevin.
Okay, David, much appreciated. And now time for halftime. So we'll be back in just a bit to get the third quarter underway.
It's the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Hey everybody, welcome back to the NBA on 2K Sports. This is our halftime show. Ernie Johnson, Shaquille O'Neal, Kenny the Jet Smith. Reggie Jackson is having one of those nights. He had 16 points, 3 rebounds, and 4 assists. Kenny, what's your take on Detroit so far?
They've done a lot of things well, but the way they've taken care of the basketball, valuing each possession so critical to the tempo, so crucial to the offensive flow. They've got a great rhythm. As smart and as safe as they're playing, they made it clear they're not going to beat themselves today.
How about you, Shaq? What did you think about Indiana?
Well, they got a ton of issues to work out. Allow way too high a percentage to be shot against them. Not really showing any energy on defense. No discipline. Look at their faces, Ernie. Do they even want to be here?
And that's a wrap for our halftime show. The third quarter just about to get started.
And we return to Indianapolis, Indiana, with a look at all the activity taking place in this terrific downtown. Well, we've got a second half of basketball for you. We think it's going to be pretty good. A big comeback, though, is needed for this game to be competitive, and it probably has to happen quickly. Reggie Jackson has been sensational.
Yeah, and sometimes you find yourself in a role you're not comfortable with, but his passing in the first half really was impressive.
Yeah, and he accumulated a lot of assists, and I liked how unselfish he was, Greg.
And with the second half upon us, we'll find out if this game becomes the route that it's threatening to be. Sabonis and Turner inside. Tyreke Evans out there with Collison. And it's Bogdanovich in at the 3. So that's the group out there for Indiana. Now here's Jackson. And the pass to Kennard. Lets the 3 fly. Sabonis grabs the board. Pacers trail by 17.
And really one of the best assets of Sabonis is his mind for the game. Very aware on the offensive end, knows how to create chances, and just plays the game with his mind as much as his athleticism.
Here's Griffin after Tyreke Evans has scored. And there's Drummond. That's good on the assist by Griffin. Griffin's got 3 assists tonight.
And, Drummond is an experienced big man now, and because of that, he's gained confidence and has no problem shooting over the defense inside.
Now here's Evans. Here's Bogdanovich. Lays it up off the glass. Bogdanovich has got 12 points in the game. And for Sabonis, we all know his father was one of the best when it came to seeing the floor, Greg. As a big man, his passing game was terrific.
And skills like that go a long way in the NBA. Sabonis does all the little things that free up shots for himself and his teammates. Is starting to play with more aggression, and this is a guy that can be an all-star.
Spotting the open man, Collison, a capable playmaker.
Here's Jackson. 16 points for him. He kicks it to Griffin. Back to Jackson. The shot. Bogdanovich grabs the miss. Pacers trail by 15. Evans passes to Sabonis. That one good for 2.
Yeah, I like Sabonis' game inside because he's confident and skilled.
And this is his first trip to the line tonight. Free throw good, Sabonis.
I look at Sabonis as a terrific stretch 4. He's a guy who can play either power forward or center, and he has excellent length and a nice touch.
Now here's Griffin. He's got 13. Back to Jackson. 6 on the shot clock. Outside Griffin. From deep. They get the rebound, and Drummond throws it down.
Boy, I like the activity of Drummond on the glass. I mean, he's so big and active. Excellent timing and hands, always pounding and grinding for offensive rebounds.
Time called here. Indiana decides to talk it over.
Here's a look at some stats for Tyreke Evans. Over the last 10 games or so, he's really shown up, putting up about 22 points per, 5 rebounds, and 4 assists. And some pretty good numbers, guys. He's certainly making a contribution.
Better than expected. He still has a ways to go, but I like what I'm seeing right now.
Sabonis kicks to Collison. Back to Sabonis. Looks for Evans, gets it to him. That one a little long.
But only the first miss of the second half. They've come out here with authority.
And there's the foul, and Darren Collison picks it up. That's his first foul. Clock keeps going. 3 minutes into the second half now. Outside Griffin. Over Sabonis.
Capable of guarding multiple positions, his lateral quickness allows him to guard both the post and perimeter well.
Yes, and a nice assist from Evans. Evans has got 3 assists tonight.
Well, as for them being behind in this game, you certainly can't put any of it on his shoulders. He's been tremendous offensively.
Jackson kicks to Griffin. No good that time. So the Pacers will take it the other way. Pass to Bogdanovich. Turner finds Bogdanovich. Makes the bucket. Now he's got 5 field goals, 5 for 8 in the game.
They're finding lanes to the hoop now with consistency. 5 buckets in a row from the paint.
And on the flip side, Greg, the defenders have to show more fight on the interior. They've got to offer more resistance here.
Now here's Drummond. He's got 14. Here's Griffin. Turner with the steal. Here's Evans. And the lead is down inside single digits. Evans has got 4 points in the quarter.
Yeah, they're going to have a nice little run here.
Jackson kicks to Kennard. Inside, Drummond. And the layup is good after a nice lead pass. Drummond's got 16 points.
He doesn't do some of the damage that other big men do on the perimeter, but inside, Drummond's got just as much game as anybody.
Now, here's Sabonis. He's got 11. Collison, the pass to Sabonis. Here's Turner. And 2 free throws coming up, unable to get that one to go with all the contact. Andre Drummond picks one up. And Miles Turner, obviously one of the strongest shot blockers, Clark, in the NBA, in large part to his length.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, the timing, too, Kevin, is a big asset in blocking shots. I think he's already a strong defender, and he's only going to get better as he gets more experience and strength.
First free throw is good.
And, you know, last year was a bit of a mixed bag for Miles Turner. I mean, he was expected to take another big leap forward into stardom, but didn't quite get to that point. But sometimes growth is not a straight line. It's up and down, sideways a bit. This young man's got the character and talent to be an all-star in the near future.
TJ Leaves checked in for Sabonis. Both free throws good from Turner. And Clark, with Turner last season, battled some injuries and had to work to come back to his consistent rotation time role.
Kevin, how many times have I said it? I know we're in the microwave age, but you have to be patient with these young guys, especially big guys. They just traditionally take longer to develop. You've got to remember he played 1 year of college basketball, an outstanding rookie year. The sophomore year, a little bit bumpy, but still progress made. This guy's got great promise and potential, and he's going to be an impact player for a long time.
Corey Joseph's checked in for Indiana. Evans outside. He dishes it to Turner. The shot's good. Turner's got 8.
Exceptional skills for Turner down in the paint. This guy, I think, has the potential to be a dominant player inside for a lot of years.
Now, here is Robinson. Smith outside. From the wing. And Griffin with the score. The assist by Smith. And that's 15 points for Blake Griffin.
Boy, the way Smith runs the offense, really efficient, thanks to the way he can pass it.
Evans finds Turner. Now here's Evans. 12 points for him. And the shot no good, a bit short. Pistons leading by 8. Outside, Robinson passes it to Smith. Lets a floater go, and it's sent back by Turner. And Drummond kicks to Griffin. In for his 7th make in 14 tries.
It was all about his athleticism when Griffin first came into the league, but it didn't take long to see he was about a lot more than that. He's got serious skills down low.
Now here's Evans. His numbers are looking pretty good. He's got his scoring average up around 18.5 points a game.
Yeah, those shots are taken totally in rhythm, high percentage quality shots, and really getting whatever he wants.
Here's Smith over Joseph. Again, Griffin missing.
The shooting numbers just aren't there yet in the quarter.
Joseph, the pass to Leaf. And the foul called on Blake Griffin. And that'll be his 3rd foul so far. Young's checked in for Tyreek Evans. And Detroit with a change here, too. Pachulia is checked in. To the inside. It's good, and the Piston lead is cut down now to just 6, and the basket from Joseph.
Yeah, capable from the interior. When Joseph has the space needed to get a shot off, he uses it.
Smith finds Robinson. Here's Bullock. Bogdanovich grabs the miss. Bogdanovich has got his 5th rebound right now in the game. Young passes to Joseph. Robinson against Young. Pass to Leaf. The dish to Joseph. It's Bogdanovich on the wing. He's guarded by Bullock. Bogdanovich, no luck. Pistons leading by 6. Trying to break that ice-cold streak. Fouled in the act of shooting. Gets the bucket anyway, so a 3-point play chance for him. And guys, let's get your take on the scoring breakdown for the Pistons.
Boy, their passing has been picturesque, a thing of beauty in both halves. More than a few of their baskets have come off assists.
Yeah, but also, they haven't missed a beat in terms of their fast break game. That's been equally as effective all night long.
Looking at who's out there now for the Pacers. Kyle O'Quinn, he's checked in for Miles Turner, and McDermott subbed in for Leaf. Free throw drop for Smith.
Boy, and at only 6 feet tall, Smith uses that blazing speed of his to keep defenses off balance. Good luck trying to stay in front of him.
Now, here's Joseph. Kicks to Bogdanovich. With the fadeaway. Rebound, Detroit.
Boy, Kevin, he just clanked that one. I mean, surprising because the defense wasn't really in the picture.
Smith for 3. Pacers with the rebound. O'Quinn's got 4 rebounds in this game. And Young, here we go. Joseph finds O'Quinn. Outside, Bogdanovich. 5 on the clock. Back to O'Quinn. Lays it up and banks it in. O'Quinn's got his first basket of the night.
Wow, what a pass there. He made that a very easy basket with that setup.
Bullock passes to Lure. Good on the triple.
Hey, I tell you what, the contest on that shot was lacking. Very subpar, which is why the shooter buried it.
And so it's Joseph with it. He'll bring it up for Indiana. It's a 10-point game. McDermott with it. He's against Lure. Here's Young, and he drops in the layup off the glass. Young's got 6 points.
And they are attacking the rim and getting great results.
And how? I mean, they're taking this defense to task, taking them to school. Every one of their last 10 points have come in the paint.
Now, here's Bullock. 7 points in the game. Lure can't hit. Joseph looking over the floor. Softly drops in the floater. Joseph's got his third basket of the night right there.
Oh, they own the interior right now. 10 straight points coming from inside.
Well, constantly finding lanes to the basket, getting great looks inside.
Now, here's Bullock. Taking a look at his stats, he's averaging around 7.5 points a game. It's good on the putback. And the Pistons lead by 8.
You know, we talk about it all the time, guys. Those second chance buckets, always the result of that extra effort.
Bogdanovich against Lure. Fouled on the shot and picks up 2 points, so one free throw coming up.
And Bogdanovich knows how to get dialed in quickly. Doesn't force anything, just plays his own game. Comfortable in his own skin.
This will be his 4th shot at the line in this one. Luke Kennard, he's checked in for Detroit. Jackson comes in for Reggie Bullock.
One shot.
Free throw good, Bogdanovich.
This is as good as it gets from the charity stripe here in the second.
Yeah, you know what? And I think they've just got to keep on keeping on. Keep drawing contact, attacking, getting to the line. That will certainly give them a chance to get back into the game.
Now here's Jackson. 16 points for him. And they double up Jackson. And we're going to have a jump ball. It's tied up there. And so it's Indiana with it. Pacers trail by 5. And Joseph kicks to Bogdanovich. Back to Joseph. The kick out to Young. The pass to Bogdanovich. Here's Joseph. 6 to shoot. And the Pacers can't get it to go.
Something that's kept this game close is the fact that the rebound stats for both teams are almost identical.
The battle to a standstill on the boards has really been something to watch, and the game's not over yet. We'll see if one of these teams maintains more energy than the other going down the stretch.
The Pacers making a switch here. Collison's out there. Count it. Good. 9 points for Smith.
Boy, I like the competitive spirit of Smith. I mean, he welcomes contact and doesn't mind getting bumped as he drives to the rim.
Now, here's O'Quinn. 6-second difference between the shot and game clock. Young. And Young slams it home.
He just punched the ticket on that one. That'll get the job done.
Powerful two-hand jam.
I tell you what, if he's got a few more of those in him, this lead will really start shrinking.
Outside Jackson. To the paint. Young with the steal. With 1 on the clock. No good. And that's going to do it for the third quarter. Pistons lead by 5. And fourth quarter basketball will be coming your way on 2K Sports right after this. And while we can now, let's take a look at today's State Farm assist of the game.
And the winner today, the big fella here with the sweetest of dimes. What a plus it is to have a post player who's got this ability to find.
Boy, that's a nice asset to have. It's a huge boost to any offense too, Greg. It adds a whole nother dimension when you've got a big guy that can pass.
3/10 quarters behind us. One more to go. Thanks for being with us as we begin the fourth. Pacers trail by 5. Our fourth quarter action underway, presented by Gatorade. All fueled up and ready to go. Let's reset the lineups. And Detroit, looking at who they've got. They've got Griffin. Jackson is out there with Smith. Then there's Pachulia. And it's Kennard in at the small forward position. To the middle. Here's Griffin. No good there. Good defensive work there by Young. The Pacers shooting it really well. 54% from the floor. Evans finds Collison. Fades back. And it's Evans missing. Pistons leading by 5. Griffin passes to Smith. Shot's good. Griffin making the play. Griffin's got his 4th assist in this one.
There's been a change in his game compared to what we saw in the first half. I mean, he's scoring with a lot of confidence now.
Now, here is Young. Back to O'Quinn. Low block shot, and off the glass. That one's good.
And just great offensive execution by both sides, leaving nothing on the table.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, Greg, both of these teams completely aligned, in sync right now. I mean, they are torching the Nets late in this ball game.
A moment now to see how the schedule is looking for Detroit. On Sunday, they'll go up against the Magic in Orlando. And then on Tuesday, they'll be playing against LaMarcus Aldridge and the Milwaukee Bucks.
And, you know, nobody loves playing on the road, but it does offer a good chance to see exactly what your team is made of. This team is going to find out a lot about itself over the next stretch of games.
And he can't get the first one. And Indiana making a change here. Sabonis is checked in. He hits the second from the line.
And one of the problems in the first half, that shoddy work at the free throw line. They needed to fix that, and they've been much improved since the break.
Now here's Pachulia. Dishes it to Griffin. Knocked away. Smith on the wing. 5 on the clock. Over Evans. Detroit with a fresh 24. Outside for Jackson. Evans with the rebound. And it's Evans with the ball. He'll bring it up for Indiana. A great fourth quarter, just giving up 2 points. With the teardrop. And there's the foul on the shot. He'll go to the line for 2. And there's the foul against Detroit.
You got to appreciate the skill set of Evans. I mean, Tyreek Evans can play a few different spots for you, and he's got nice handles for a guy his size.
The first free throw is good. Tyreek Evans not the biggest free agent this past offseason, but Greg, many teams vied for his services.
Pacers were able to win out, and he should be a good fit. Can act as another playmaker and ball handler for the team. Turned down playing with the Warriors, Lakers, and Thunder to come to this Indiana squad.
And both free throws good for Tyreek Evans.
And this is one of the things they need to keep doing in the second half to get this win. Keep knocking down those free throws. They've been sensational here at the line.
Now here's Pachulia. Top of the key, Griffin. Count it! And he'll have a chance for a three-point play. It's on Darren Collison.
Boy, I like how fast, how quickly he went up with the shot, realizing that his man had no chance.
Andre Drummond's checked in for the Pistons.
One shot, gentlemen.
That's good from Blake Griffin. We're in the fourth quarter here, just under 2.5 minutes gone. Collison looking around. Up top, O'Quinn, defended by Drummond. Now, here is Young. He's covered closely. Indiana again missing.
Well, I tell you what, he's going to put a lot of pressure on their perimeter shooters if he can't convert those chances.
Kennard kicks to Jackson. From outside, off the mark. Pacers trail by 5. Young outside. And he could not get that one to go. A lot of contact, and he'll go to the line for 2.
And, you know, Thaddeus Young, the veteran forward out of Georgia Tech, over a decade of service in the NBA, and he's still one of the more dependable scorers you'll find in terms of over the course of a season.
No good on the free throw. And for Young, a veteran, as you mentioned, Clark, still one of the more athletic players in the league.
Yeah, he really is. Very impressive how long Thaddeus has been as consistent as he's been. Does a nice job running the floor. Really good in shot selection. And has become a more vocal leader as he is one of the older guys in the league now.
And he's good on the second.
That one miss was huge. He had a chance to turn this into a one-possession game.
Smith kicks to Robinson. Pistons passing it around. And the officials will call the illegal screen right there.
He went a decent amount of time before his first turnover there. It's really been a good, safe stretch of basketball from him to this point.
Pacers trail by 4. Collison finds Young. We've played just over 3.5 minutes now in the fourth quarter. Collison gets a wide open look, buries it from 3-point range.
And Collison, I think, is at his best when he's shooting the ball from a set position. More of a set shooter than a guy who shoots it well on the move.
Now here is Smith. Drummond passes to Griffin. Count it. Griffin's got 9 points here in the second half.
I love the ball movement there. He put that on a silver platter. Just served him up.
Collison dishes to Young. And contact on the shot, so he'll be shooting free throws here. And for his whole career, Thaddeus Young has been a player not afraid, Greg, of attacking defenders head on.
Young has such a great first burst of speed. He really is a handful to deal with. Gets a lot of transition buckets that way, and in the half court can set up teammates by creating space. In the latter part of his career, I think he's taken on more of a vocal leadership role as well.
That free throw good from Thaddeus Young.
And while Young is serviceable at the line, not terrible, there's still a lot of room for improvement.
And so Young nails them both.
And not a single free throw attempt in that first half, but he has been far more active since the break and drawn some fouls.
Now here is Smith. Back to Griffin. The baseline J. That shot misses. Good work defensively by Turner. And so Young will bring it up for Indiana. Down low. Sabonis kicks to Evans. Smith against Collison. Evans outside. To take the lead. Rebound by the Pistons. Here's Kennard. Good, and the assist goes to Robinson. Robinson's got 3 assists tonight.
Assists like that have typified their effort today. Terrific ball movement.
Really a prime example of the difference in how these teams have operated offensively. Much more individual play at the other end.
Here's Kennard. Off target from outside. Pacers trail by 4. Outside Collison. He kicks it to Evans. Sweet little floater. Evans has got 4 this quarter.
And how about the confidence from Evans? He's feeling like no one
can stop him playing with a ton of heart.
And the wide open shot from Griffin. Off target with his 3.
All the time in the world to get that one off.
Collison against Smith. Collison finds Evans. From deep three-point range, Detroit with the rebound. Drummond's got the glass covered here tonight. 11 boards for him. Outside Robinson. Bobbed up there for Drummond. Turner with the steal. Now here's Evans. He's guarded closely to tie it up. And that one goes long.
He's been anything but his usual self this quarter. It's actually been ugly to see.
Kennard, the pass to Smith. Up top, Griffin. Defended by Sabonis. Griffin kicks to Smith. And again, it's the Pistons missing.
Well, you know, they're in the lead, but he's still been frustrated from an offensive standpoint.
Pass to Sabonis. Back to Young. Evans outside. He dishes it to Collison. Over Smith. Collison, no good. The Pistons leading. Passes it to Kennard. Yes, and it's Smith with the assist that time. Smith's got 6 assists in the game.
He knew what he wanted to do all along. The teardrop.
Now here's Collison. Now Sabonis. Turner finds Evans. The shot. No good off the back of the rim.
Tell you what, Kevin, it would be helpful if he would start to contribute a little more on offense, because when he's missing, it makes it really hard for this team.
Now here is Robinson. In the corner, Smith with it. Knocks down the 3 ball. Now it's a 7-point Detroit lead.
It's really been a tale of 2 halves, guys. A slow start, but this quarter, he has really been the man.
Young inside, guarded by Robinson.
And that's his 4th, and no doubt he would have liked to have not gotten it this soon.
Shooting for Indiana, Thaddeus Young. Taking 2 shots.
He misses the free throw. Bogdanovich is checked in for the Pacers. Good on the second free throw. Now a timeout called by Detroit.
And starting to send guys to the line way more than they need to. Let's get some good position defense going here. That should be the emphasis, and get away from the sloppy fouls.
A chance now to recognize our Jordan Player of the Game, Andre Drummond.
And his percentage from the field tonight seems almost made up. I didn't think it was possible to have that kind of success shooting the basketball. You need a little bit of luck, a bunch of hard work, and a whole lot of talent.
And we've got an update here, so let's catch up with David Aldridge.
Well, guys, I was able to listen in on what Dwayne Casey went over with his team. Even though they're ahead, he said these guys are capable of catching fire. They can score a lot in a little. I don't want to see anybody easing up until the final whistle. Guys?
Now here's Drummond, here's Griffin, and he slams it down right on the top of Thaddeus.
And they've done some nice work as we've come down the stretch here in the final quarter.
Greg, you can feel the sense of urgency they have to get this thing closed out as soon as possible.
Collison, the pass to Bogdanovich. The kick out to Collison. That 3 off the mark.
And they're controlling the boards, Kevin. That's +5 in that category.
And guys, you know that rebounding is a huge part, a huge component of winning games. It's not a glamour stat, but it's necessary if you're going to be a winning team.
Smith, the pass to Kennard.
Not his best game, but they're still getting it done collectively.
Evans dishes to Collison. Floats one. It'll go, and the Detroit lead is cut down now to just 6 points with that basket from Evans.
Yeah, he hasn't had much luck getting shots to fall here. Just 2 of 7 down the stretch.
Now here is Robinson. Pass to Griffin. And Drummond kicks to Kennard. Took the opportunity when he saw it. Kennard's got 7 points here in this quarter.
Perfect dime drop that time. Nice execution of the bounce pass.
Out left to the wing. Collison finds Turner. Here's Young. The kick out to Collison. From past the arc. Sinks the triple.
A seasoned veteran who does not back down. No fear and great confidence. Collison likes taking the big shot.
Now here is Smith. Here's the pass to Kennard. Tried to come right back with the 3 of his own, but it's no good. Smith against Collison. Smith with some nice D.
And that layup is usually going in, especially when the defense is as lazy as that.
Robinson, that's good.
Boy, just a lovely dish by Griffin.
And here's Collison, who will bring it up for the Indiana Pacers. Here's Evans. Quick shot there, and it's off target. Pistons leading by 7. Smith outside. Pass to Kennard. Kicks it to Drummond. 6 on the shot clock. That shot by Griffin, no good. Indiana's gone 2 of 5 on 3-point shots since the end of the third quarter. Bogdanovich up top over Robinson. Count it! Oh, and that cuts the lead to just 5.
And a close game like this, Bogdanovich coming up big with that basket.
Smith against Collison. Passes it to Kennard. He kicks to Drummond. In the corner, it's Robinson. Lays it up, and despite of the excellent defense at that. And the Pistons lead by 7. Timeout called the Pacers. They're trailing by 7. 23 seconds left in the fourth quarter. Guys, what's your take?
And this is what happens when you dig yourself a hole it's hard to climb out of.
Well, to me, they look emotionally spent.
McDermott passes to Joseph. No good on the triple. And so the Pistons can now just hold on to the ball. And here's Smith. And so it's Detroit with the W. This was a hard-fought, well-earned victory for them, Greg. They really had to work for this win.
That's a good point. I mean, weaker teams might have buckled at the end with the crowd amped up, everyone in the building kind of rooting against you, but they stood tall and pulled it out.
Well said. It's time now to go courtside as we send you over to David Aldridge from the sideline. David, take it away.
Thanks, Kevin. Z, you guys were playing a team that really gave you a great effort, but you were able to overcome that and get the win.
Well, we expected this kind of game from them, but, you know, we gotta do our thing, you know, what we're doing. Play our game. We have to bring the energy. That's the most important thing right now.
Zaza, thanks for your time, man. Congrats. Back to you, Kevin.
Thank you, David. Great interview once again. And that about wraps it up. For Clark Kellogg, Greg Anthony, and David Aldridge, this is Kevin Harlan thanking you for watching the NBA, presented by 2K Sports. So long, everyone.